And I'm Allison, and today we're dishing to you from 523 8th Street Southeast and the fabulous Ambar.
That's right, this is the only Balkan restaurant in the Washington, D.C. area, and it's right here in Barracks Row.
Now there's so many Balkan-themed specialties here on the table, I'm going to run through them pretty quickly. First, you have a goat cheese and beet salad. Then you've got to go with some calamari. Grilled calamari is the specialty here. Balkan breads and spreads. They're so delicious. They're just mouth-watering. Then the Balkan salad. Now this one's a favorite of Tom Sietsma. He has been raving about it. Then you'll want to have some kebabs. They're a specialty of the Balkans. And of course, the biggest specialty of all, why you absolutely have to come here, the rakia. It's a specialty drink from the Balkans, and if you haven't tried it, they've got so many different varieties here.
Hot.
Cheers.
Salute.
I'll have bacon wrapped dates.
It is my pleasure to introduce Stephanie Downs, the founder of a neat organization called Voolla, which treats volunteerism as currency. What a marvelous concept. Welcome to District Dish.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
So tell us a little bit about Voolla. It's an interesting word. Does it mean something?
It does. It does. It's a made-up word, portmanteau word of volunteer combined with moolah. So I wanted to bring together volunteer skills with money that was out there.
So when people volunteer, they're always told, like, you don't get paid for it, but it's, you know, the feeling of goodwill is payment enough. So tell us what makes your program different.
Voolla is different in that we're an online marketplace that turns volunteer time into money for charities. So I spent many years volunteering and found various situations frustrating where I would maybe go and volunteer where I'd be cleaning kennels or walking dogs, and that was fun and not stressful, but then I would quickly wonder, is this a great use of my time? And so then I used my skills of marketing, and I end up on the board of directors and running the annual walkathon, and now I've got a part-time job for myself, and I don't know how that just happened. So I wanted to find something in the middle where anybody with any skill could give their skill. So on our site, they can set up a profile, list the skills that they can provide, whether they're a masseuse or they're a model or they've got any type of expertise that people hire. Customers hire them like normal, but the money that they charge goes to the charity of their choice, tax-free.
Oh, what a great idea.
Well, this is a city of nonprofits,
right?
Places that are always looking for volunteers or for workers to do something for them.
Yep.
So who are you finding is using this most often?
Well, what we're finding is it's primarily people who have skills that charities don't need. So a lot of times charities tend to have core things that they need. They need marketing people, they need web people, they need fundraisers, they need, so it's more the people who have skills. Like we had a guy set up a profile today that's a wrestling coach. So he could teach somebody's kids to wrestle, and the money that they raise could go to the charity that he cares about. So it's really people with, what we're seeing primarily is people with skills that charities don't tend to need, that want to give their volunteer skills. They don't want, want to give their professional skills. They don't want to go stuffed envelopes or stand, and that was one thing that I noticed when I was volunteering over the last decade is I'm very fortunate I have a marketing background. So every charity could use that, right? But lots of people have skills that no charity really needs.
So would you say you've become a matchmaker?
Kind of. We joke that it's Match.com for volunteerism.
But let me understand this correctly. So it's the volunteer who puts together their profile, and then the nonprofit or whoever's looking for it comes to them. Not the other way around, where a nonprofit or an organization says, we need wrestling coaches, and then you go and look for it.
Actually, there's another factor that's in there. So there's other websites out there where people a volunteer can go and look for opportunities with a charity to volunteer, but we're adding in a third component, which is the customer.
Okay.
So they're not being hired at all by a charity. What they're doing is they're raising money for the charity.
Okay, so again, to use the wrestling coach,
yes.
so my kid needs a little fine-tuning on his wrestling skills. So then I pay the coach, and then the money goes to the charity.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And the two of you decide whether you agree on a charity that you want to have it go to, or you will split the proceeds between two charities. So one of you might care about the ASPCA, and one of you might care about Susan G. Komen, and you can split the proceeds.
So it's sort of like barter, except you are paying somebody, but it's sort of like the goodwill funds go somewhere else.
So it has a lot of, I think, very neat applications as far as small businesses. We've had companies set up a profile, like a guy that's a plumber that says, one Voolla transaction per customer. customer. So we could do the first transaction with them and then start working with them directly. Also people who are just out of college that need to get some real world experience, or people who are unemployed. So they're working with people that are actually willing to spend money, so there's not just the, hate to say bottom feeding, but it's not just the people who want everything for free. They're willing to spend money, and it's a great way to match people up.
So is it monetized? Have you monetized it? Do you make any money off of it?
Well, how we make money is we take 10% of every transaction. Okay. So we are a 501c3. We are a nonprofit organization, but I have experience starting another nonprofit organization 4 years ago, and I understand how challenging fundraising can be. So I wanted to put together a model with this organization that was self-sustaining.
Now, how many people have set up profiles on Voolla?
Right now we have about 2,000 people that have registered, and so when they register, they can be both customers and it's kind of like eBay, where you can buy and sell. And then we have we're a little over 500 volunteer profiles, and then we have other people that are on the customer side.
Can you tell us some of the charities that have been helped?
Yeah, so like we just had one, a transaction a couple weeks ago that I thought was really fun. A lady hired a graphic designer through the site to design her wedding invitations, and then they raised money for a charity that helps with teen pregnancy.
Oh, that's a great.
That's really
so she got her wedding invitations designed.
That she was going to pay for anyway.
Right, she was going to pay for anyway, and now the money went to a charity that she cares about. So it's also, I feel, from a donor's standpoint, as you guys all know, every day we're getting emails, this organization needs money, this charity event. There's just always, there's not enough money to go around, right? And especially in current economic times in the last number of years. So now this is a way that people can go get a massage, or they can get their hair cut, or get a babysitter, or a dog walker, or a landscaper, or even for businesses, they can hire consultants. We have people on there who are researchers and programmers. They can hire those people and work together and raise some money.
And how long have you been doing it?
So we just launched in November, and it was actually kind of a soft launch. So we haven't done our official media launch. We're just starting. Well, actually, the release that went out last week.
This is
This is it. So yeah, so we've just kind of started contacting the media in the last couple weeks and doing a bit more of a launch.
Well, it is a fascinating concept, the currency of giving, as you say, and we certainly love that you've started this locally, and hopefully we help lots of local charities too. So thanks so much for coming to tell us about it.
Cha-ching with the cause.
As always, thank you all also for watching the District Dish. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and tell us who you think we should be dishing with next time. See you later.